All right, this is going to be for the week of March 28th to April 2nd. And I want to apologize for not having a video last week. I was in my old stomping grounds of Montreal playing a reunion gig with my old band, so I had a little bit of a break from being a farmer and got to try being a musician again. So anyways, that aside, this is the week, and here we go. We got lots of stuff happening on the farm this week. Planting, harvesting, selling. It's our first week at the farmers market of the season. That's coming up on Saturday. And we're prepping some new plots. We're gonna do some compost work because this has gotten a little out of hand. Okay, right now I'm standing in front of two beds that I've prepared using no-till, which you've seen before. I'm putting some drip irrigation on them, and I'm going to put a poly low tunnel on top. We're also starting to get ready to do big transplanting, so we're starting to harden off some of our transplants. So we just take them out of the greenhouse during the day, and then we bring them back at nighttime, so that way when we transplant them next week, they're a little bit more climatized. And we're also getting my neighbor's plot ready, so this is just right next door to my place. We're taking this fence out. I've plotted it out now, and I have 1,300 square feet of production area here. So I'm going to have a block of 21 feet by 50 feet here, which I can fit 6 50-foot beds into. And then I've got an area over here which is going to be 12 by 25, and I can fit effectively 4 beds in there. So altogether that's roughly 8, let's just round it, so 8 50-foot beds. If I do that in high rotation, each of those beds will be worth $1,600 a season, so that gives us about $12,800 of revenue that we can expect to pull off this plot this year. And I would say that's probably conservative based on what we're going to put in here. We're going to do this as mostly lettuce, Salanova lettuce transplants through landscape fabric, so we're not too worried about weeds off the start, which is normally an issue for us. And we've also slightly changed the plan of how we're going to get this site into production. We're going to do it real quick. I've got a neighbor who has a bobcat, and so I'm going to pay him for a few hours of work. He's going to come in here. He's going to get this nebulous sort of pile of dirt out of here. He's going to load it in a trailer, take it to the dump, and I'm going to get him to peel off the sod real quick. So then we can come into the tiller, blast up those beds, fork them nice and deep, and then get some top dressing on there, some compost and fertilizer, get our landscape fabric on, put our plugs in, put in our drip irrigation, then we're off to the races. We're also trying some fun new equipment this year. These are called row bags, and we will be filling these up with a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch gravel, and they're going to be used to hold down our tarps and our poly low tunnels. So that's a new thing we're trying this year. It's from Dubois if you are in Canada. And I think there's similar things in the US as well. This is that pile of wood chips that we got last week, and we've used a lot of it to finish up kind of surrounding areas here, but we'll also be shuttling some of this over next door for our perimeter areas so we can keep the weeds down and such. I'm at one of my bi-rotation plots, the furthest plot on our network, and today I am harvesting a ton of kale. This overwintered very well, probably almost 100 pounds of kale there, and I'm pulling the tunnels on these overwintered beets I did this year, and they worked out quite well, so we'll actually have some to harvest for this market, which is exciting. Another thing that we had happen this week, it's actually been happening for a couple weeks. We've noticed in our greenhouse here we've been having some aphid problems, and that's really strange because for this time of year we generally don't see aphids in annual vegetables. They're usually in trees or shrubs or things like that. And we had aphids in our pepper starts and in our kale transplants, and I've never seen that before. So one thing I did, and this is something I talk about a lot in my podcasts and my shows, is I went and sourced some high-grade information. I hired an agronomist named Mario Lantier, who's actually been a longtime friend of mine, a bit of a mentor as well, to come in here and check it out. And it's amazing how if you just pay somebody to come in, they can have a solution for you really quickly, and it saved me a lot of headache because he came in and said, oh yeah, that's this type of aphid. We can bring in some parasitic wasps that will basically lay eggs in them like in the movie Alien and kill them over a week or two. So it was like, boom, just pay somebody a little bit of money, problem solved, and then they're going to bring in these bugs and they're going to live in our greenhouse. So something like that is very worth your time, especially when you've invested as much money as I have in this greenhouse to have it be operational. Today is Friday, it's the last day of our week, and today we're prepping for the market. And we don't have a ton of stuff, but we've got a decent amount of product. We've got some kale, we've got some overwintered spinach. We actually got some, we've got some lettuce that we're packing up, which is exciting. We tried doing an early planting this year, and we harvested a little, we kind of spot harvested a bit of that bed there because it was a mixed batch of whatever Salanova seed I had at the time. And so we've got some spring mix, we've got some the spinach, the kale, we've got some overwintered beets, we've got microgreens, pea shoots and sunflower shoots. So we've got a decent amount of product for the market, so that's exciting for a first market of the season. So that wraps up our week, you guys. Hope you found that valuable. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button right now. Like and share these videos with your friends. Check out my online course, profitableurbanfarming.com, and my book at theurbanfarmer.co. Alright, see you soon.